Hello my friends, welcome to my channel Discover with Kim. I'm Kim. I'm so excited you're here with me today. Welcome to this week's summer reading challenge vlog. This week, instead of picking my books out of my trusty TBR prompt bowl, no, we're not doing that because your girl's sick of that. She is tired of that. We are halfway through our challenge and it's time to switch things up a little bit because I need to kick myself into gear and get some more book reads. So this week, instead of picking our books out of our jar, that I'm going to be solely reading mystery fantasy books. Let's get into it. I am in such a mood to just kind of dig into some good fantasy books right now. I don't know why. It is the middle of July, but I'm in such a fantasy book mood. So instead of just letting fate decide what kind of books I'm reading this week, I've decided that I'm going to be reading only fantasy books this week. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a fantasy series to tackle and read the whole series, and then depending how long that takes, I'm going to be reading some standalone or beginning of series fantasy novels. So let's get our fantasy novel reading on. Okay, so as I said, the first thing I want to do is I want to tackle a series. So I'm going to pull a series from my mystery books. So let us readjust you. So every book on this shelf is the start of a series, and most of them are the start of a fantasy series. A couple of them are the start of a romance series. So hopefully we don't get a romance series because that'll mess up this whole video. But most of them are the start of a fantasy series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of them, and then that is a series that I'm going to be starting this summer reading challenge video with. Whatever fantasy series you pick, we're going to read book one, and then we're going to read however many other books there are. So let's go. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, something about this one with the sticky note on it, it's speaking to me. Like, I think it's because it doesn't really fit into the bookshelf. Something's like, please just read this one and get it out of the way. So I think we're gonna do this one. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do this one. As you saw, my friends, I got The Darkness Within Us by Trisha Levenseller. It has these beautiful sprayed edges, and I'm so excited to read this one. So let me read you what it says. It is indeed a fantasy book. Oh, there goes my air conditioning. Okay, friends, so as you saw, I picked The Darkness Within Us, which is actually book 2. So we're going to be starting with book 1. I keep confusing which one's book 1 and book 2. But I just looked it up, and book 1 is The Shadow Between Us. You can see it has these beautiful edges as well. So this is a duology. So we're going to be starting this video by tackling a fantasy duology, which I'm so excited for. It's The Shadow Between Us and then The Darkness Within Us. And like I said, I am so excited. So let me read you the beginning, It says, "They've never found the body of the first and only boy who broke my heart, and they never will. Alessandra is tired of being overlooked, but she has a plan to gain power. 1. Woo the Shadow King. 2. Marry him. 3. Kill him and take his kingdom for herself. No one knows the extent of the freshly crowned Shadow King's power. Some say he can command the shadows to swirl around him to do his bidding. Others say they speak to him. Others say they speak to him, whispering the thoughts of his enemies. Regardless, Alessandra knows what she deserves, and she's going to do everything within her power to get it. But Alessandra is not the only one trying to kill the king. As attempts on his life have made, she finds herself trying to keep him alive long enough for him to make her his queen, all while struggling not to lose her heart. After all, who better for a Shadow King than a cunning, villainous queen?" It's beautiful map inside, so I'm really excited to start reading this one. And yeah, that is what we're going to be starting this version of my summer reading challenge, which is reading mystery fantasy books. We're going to be starting it with this fantasy duology, The Shadow Between Us. I'm so excited. Shadows Between Us. I have about 34 pages left, and I will say this book is really good. The romance and the yearning is amazing. I did expect it to be a little bit spicier, but once I started reading, I was like, oh, it's not going to be that spicy at all. But I really enjoyed it, and I really loved, hey, Mitzi. I'm really loving the characters, and I'm really curious to see like what the next book is, if it's the same characters or different characters. But we have about 34 pages left, so I'm going to finish this one up, and then we will start the next one. I'm so excited. But yeah, so far, really good. I did it, my friends. I did it. I'm so excited. I officially finished the book. Yep, that is right. I have finished the book, so let's chat about it a little bit. So, The Shadows Between Us. Sorry if you can hear the highway, by the way. Rambo is looking out the window, but... Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. It was a romantasy book, and it was quite good, I would say. I'd say probably about a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I love the storyline. I really liked our main character because she was such like a strong-willed woman. She was a little bit too much of a strong-willed woman. Like things kind of came really easily to her, but I feel like Rammy! Whoopsies, ma! Anyways, I feel like our author, she tends to write female characters that things kind of come a little bit easily to, which I enjoy because I feel like often male characters things come easier to, so I like that she writes female characters that things come a little bit easier to. And I really enjoyed our female character because she was really like headstrong, and she was really independent, and she was all about like women's rights, which of course women's rights are important. I'm a woman. I'm very much into women's rights. But yes, I really enjoyed that, and my battery's gonna die, so hold on. And then our male main character, the Shadow King, Callias, however you want to pronounce it. He was just, I don't know, something about him, like the shadows, untouchableness, and then just the love story I really enjoyed. It is a shorter book. It's only 330 pages, so it's not like it's too in-depth or anything. The world building is there, it's good, but it's not like crazy. And I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed that it's like there was balls, and there was like palace life and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was really fun. And I enjoyed the other strong female characters in the book. She made a couple friends that I really liked, and yeah, I was a big fan of The Shadows Between Us. So I'm excited that I read this one. And now we're going to move on to book number 2 in this little duology, and that is The Darkness Within Us. So this is what the hardcover looks like, the naked hardback. She's beautiful, let me tell you. She's beautiful, and she has the stenciled edges, and I absolutely love her. So this one, I looked into it, and I'm not going to say too much because it's going to give a little bit of spoilers for the first one, but it looks like it takes place directly after the first one ends. But instead of following Alessandra and Callias from the first one, it follows, let me make sure I pronounce her name right, Chrysantha from, so Chrysantha is Alessandra's sister from the first one. So the main character in the first one, this one follows the sister storyline, it looks like. So I'm curious to hear about this because if you read the first one, the sister's not necessarily my favorite character, but I'm curious because like I feel like this is going to be like her redemption story, and I'm interested to see how it goes, and I'm really excited to start this one. And so this is the second in this little duology, and it would finish the series for me, so I'm gonna get this one read, and I'm so excited. And yeah, this one I think is about the same length. Let's give it a look. It's a little bit shorter. It's 311 pages, so I'm hoping I'll be able to read this one by like mid-weekend. And yeah, I'm excited. So far so good, and I'm curious to see how this one's gonna compare to the first one, because again, same world, different character, but it's gonna include some of the characters from the first one, I assume. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes.
Hey, and thank you for having me. I'm Melissa Landers, and I'm the author of...
So it's been really amazing.
She was a hawk, and then at sunset they changed, and I'm gonna say blue because he's a dog, and that makes him the easiest choice. Lord Blue Solon is my favorite, and for the record, he will never die, so you don't have to worry about him. Follow that up.
So this is a really hard question for me because it's a wide choose and we're not supposed to pick favorites. So yeah, I usually just say it's really based off of what you're in the mood for, especially when it comes to the Never list. So if you want...
Gosh, it's hard. So my favorite one to write was Airy. I absolutely loved writing her voice. I think she was...
Oh my gosh, that book event was so much fun. So I tried to take the best footage that I could. I will say it wasn't set up the best, so we were all just kind of like on one level, so there was no stage. The authors, they were not raised at all, so it was kind of hard for me to see like at all during the event, so that's why you kind of have shots through people's heads. But I tried my best to get a couple shots for you guys because I figured you would want to see the authors while they were talking and stuff. But yeah, I'm so excited and so lucky that I was able to go to that event. So I was able to see Mai Corland, Jade Presley, and Melissa Landers in person. They chatted for a little bit about their books, about their writing process, about what got them into writing, all that fun stuff, which I love hearing authors talk about that kind of stuff. Not only does it inspire me to come home and like be creative and actually go for my goals, but also I just find it interesting to hear how different people think differently and how their processes are different and how it works for them though. Like it might be different, but whatever they're doing is exactly what they need to be doing for it to work. But the event was really fun. It was not, I mean, it was completely full, so it was crowded and that space was completely full, but I believe there was only about 100 tickets sold because I counted the chairs and there's 100 chairs, so I believe it was a 100 ticket event. I was not gifted this event or anything, my friends. I bought the tickets myself when I saw that my favorite indie bookstore was putting on this event. I bought the tickets for me and my partner to go because I wanted to go and see the authors, hear them talk, get their books, and get them signed. So I bought the tickets myself, and it was a smallish event, which was really nice, and it was, like I said, really nice to hear them talk. I took the best footage I could to show you guys them chatting and then kind of how the whole event was set up and what it all looked like. And then after their talk, we got to meet them, and we got to get some of our books signed by them. So I thought I would show you guys. So I got Three Shattered Souls by Mai Corland. This book was just released last Tuesday, so this event was technically for her as like a fun release party event for her book. So this one has fun edges, and then of course I went and I got to meet her. I got a fancy little bookmark and a little like I don't know, fancy artwork thing. And then I got it personalized and signed. I absolutely love that. So that one was for May, which again, it was technically her event. And then she said that she brought a couple of friends with her. So she brought Melissa Landers with her. She is author of The Half King. So I got this book. And again, it was lovely signed. It says, "To Kim, keep the flame alive," with a little heart. So that is absolutely precious. And last but not least, I got Jade Presley's book, The Never List. This is a Why Choose romantasy. And again, I got a fun little bookmark. And she signed it. It says, Kim, why choose? So I purchased all 3 of these books at the event so that I could go up, meet the authors, chat with them real quick. Not very long, but have a quick little chat with them. Get them signed, get them personalized, which I think is so, so special. They're all such beautiful books, like such beautiful books. So yeah, the event was so, so much fun, and I'm just so grateful that I saw it was happening and I snatched up tickets, because tickets sold out within like a couple days. So I'm really grateful that I saw that. And I snatched up the tickets really, really quickly because it was really fun, and it was, like I said, really, really fun. See some authors that I enjoy and just hear about their writing. I also want to show, so you saw that I got a mystery book. Well, I just showed you that like I had a wrapped mystery book. I got that at the event, not at the event, got that at the bookstore before the event, and I unwrapped it and it ended up being this book, Awake in the Floating City by Susanna Kwan, which is really, really beautiful. Like, this is absolutely gorgeous, and it sounds really interesting. So I'll probably be reading this book sometime in the future in a vlog. I also got, the same day, not at all at the event or at that bookstore, but I got this fun little notebook that says Plot Twist. And then, of course, I had to get The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. I got this at the grocery store while we were grocery shopping. Technically I got it at Walmart, but this is the sequel to The Spell Shop. So they're just kind of like, they're interconnected in that they take place in the same world. It is a cozy fantasy, and I absolutely adored The Spell Shop, so of course this book came out this past week, so I had to get it. Oops. Okay friends, finally let us chat my current read. So you guys saw I started The Darkness Within Us a couple days ago, and I'll be honest, after I finished The Shadows Between Us, I hit a bit of a reading slump. I really did. I was just not in the mood to read, like at all. So we're barely into this book. We have barely read any of it. We've read 26 pages, 2 chapters. It's cute so far, or it's good so far. I don't know if I could say it's cute. I don't know if it's cute is the word I would say, because if you've read this book and you know what happens at the beginning, I probably shouldn't call that cute. But it's good so far, and I definitely think, or I definitely know I'm gonna dig into it this week, either force myself or hopefully just flow into it. But I do plan to read this week ahead, but this video goes live tomorrow, so I do not have time to finish it for this video. So it will be in next week's video, my thoughts on this book and the finished duology, as well as whatever other books I get up to reading this week. But I will say, when I wasn't reading this one, oops, naughty me, I was reading a book on my Kindle. So let me pull that up. So it's by Tate James. I read Dear Reader, and then that one was really, really fast read. It's like a mystery, thriller, romance. Why choose romance? But I read that, and then the second one just came out on Kindle Unlimited, which is called Watch Your Back. So I started reading that. I am 250 out of 379 pages, so I am pretty far into it. So yeah, I may have failed at reading this entire duology in this video, but I did read an extra, like, almost 2 books by Tate James, which I'm a mood reader, so I got distracted. But Dear Reader and Watch Your Back. Dear Reader was pretty good enough that I'm reading Watch Your Back. My major reading wrap-up is coming up, so I will chat to you guys fully about those in that wrap-up. But that is where I'm at with these books, if I'm being honest. I failed at this one, but I started reading these ones, so mood readers unite. If you understand, you understand. But yeah, I will be finishing this one soon. Okay, my friends, my entire neighborhood is alive with doing yard work, apparently, because why not do it exactly when I decide to start vlogging? That is my life. But because of that, I think it is time to just wrap up this vlog for this week, wrap up my summer reading challenge vlog, and we will catch back up and pick up right where we left off next week, next Tuesday, with my next summer reading challenge vlog. We'll be finishing up month 2 of my summer reading challenge, July. We'll be chatting just kind of where I'm at, and we'll definitely be chatting Darkness Within Us and whatever else I get up to. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here this week. I hope you guys enjoyed coming to that event with me and watching me pick out my mystery romantasy series that I decided to dig into and kind of fail at this week. Let me know what you're reading this week and if you've read any of the books I read, and let me know if you like Mai Corland, Jade Presley, or Melissa Landers, and if you've ever seen them at an event. I hope you guys have a fabulous week. Live well, read some books, and go discover, my friends.